Hello friends, welcome to Temple of Akasha, the home of embodied spirituality with me, Natasha. So I'm tired but feeling inspired to share this message that's really rich and alive in my heart, and that is not to give up on God's vision for you. Do not give up on God's vision for you, for your life. Do not give up on the visions that were seeded as dreams in your heart space that perhaps you are yet to actualize, that perhaps you can't clearly see or capture, but you can feel. You can feel the essence of them. We're living in a world right now where there's a lot of noise, and there are a lot of people shouting about how you should be responding to this very polarized, turbulent evolutionary process that's unfolding on Earth right now, where atrocities are magnified, where a focus on the trauma-inducing and the perpetuation of trauma frequencies is really heightened. So there is this real, I sense, like kind of confusion in the global field of like, how do I respond to a world that's in a lot of suffering? Personally, how do I respond? And I've really been sat with that for weeks, and I've been really doing a lot of deconditioning work and shadow work around, decolonizing, understanding my white privilege, understanding that I've been born into a natural position of privilege in the world, and really understanding how can I serve, recognizing that, knowing what I know spiritually and feel spiritually, and also wanting to serve to make sure that I'm integrative in the work that I do, and I'm no longer perpetuating this kind of parasitic perpetrator paradigm. And today, I'll be honest, I've wept every day for weeks. Sometimes more for my own personal situation and just a lot of upheaval in my own personal network and experience. Sometimes because of what is so heavy in the collective. Sometimes a mixture of both. And today I was just racked with rage and grief and this sense of like, how do I serve this world? How do I serve God? Feeling like it's the best thing I can do to just pack up everything and go and live in isolation and live a simple life, and just abandon this avenue. Is this wrong? Questioning myself, letting the opinions of others about what I should be doing saturate my field so that it's been distorting my clarity. And I cried and I raged and I screamed and I punched a load of shit, and I was just feeling all of this fullness, the fullness of what it means to be human. And I had a discovery call booked for this evening, which are the free calls that I offer to people that are thinking to work with me one-to-one. And I nearly cancelled the call. And then after crying a lot, I just thought, no, let's sit in presence. This is a being I've seen with these calls and the people that come into my field. There's always medicine for me, for them, whatever exchange it is. No money is needed in these exchanges. The medicine that we receive is so much deeper. So I sat on the call with her, this beautiful soul tribe member, and she asked some questions about her process and about my process. And she was an angel. She is an angel. She's an earth angel that God put in front of me to remind me of the vision that he has, that she has, the God Goddess has for me. The vision that's been seeded and planted in my heart to build something of real value and impact in this world, to take everything that I've been through, everything that I've accumulated in this life and other lives, to take the understanding I have of alchemy and use it to serve something bigger than myself in a world that's so desperately in need of evolutionary alchemy right now, turning fear into love, ego to soul, head to heart, And I shared my vision with her. You know, I shared my vision for temple space, online and in person. I shared the vision that God keeps willing me towards, which is to start this podcast, which is to expand into community circles and spaces, which is to really take my work bigger, to make it more impactful, to reach more people, to create sacred containers that hold many people at once. Because actually I've seen that when we come together, we're so much more powerful and spirit really takes over. It's not me doing anything. I'm just being asked to facilitate these spaces. And when I spoke these visions to her, and I spoke my doubt, you know, this is the thing. I was gifting her insight, but she was this angelic presence that mirrored back to me that my vision and my voice is needed, and that I've helped her so much on her journey, and that she sees me. She recognizes what I have to offer. She recognizes my gifts and value and my wisdom, and that she sees that where I am right now is not where I'm always going to be, that I will have the wealth I desire so that I can create the impact I want to create, because I can't help a single person on the scale I want to help them when I am living in survival mode to the degree that I have been. I'm calling in wealth so that I can use this wealth to create something, to create a network that serves this world. And she saw the vision with me, for me, and she reminded me not to give up on the vision that God has for me. And that's really what I want to share tonight. That in a world that's so noisy and saying like, you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this, you should support this, you shouldn't support this, what I would like to offer is the exploration within your own being, to take some time to shut out the external noise on social media, familial, you know, work, WhatsApp, social media. Just shut it all down for a moment. Take yourself into the woods, take yourself into nature, let yourself be renewed by the vibration of the earth. Commune with her. Ask your soul. Ask Great Spirit. What is truly alive in me, through me, for me? What are you asking me to weave in this moment? For me, as I've said, this is a temple. This is a podcast. This is resources, low-cost resources that many people can access. For you, maybe it's not a clear vision. Maybe it's a word, community. Maybe it's a sense or a feeling. Maybe it is a clear vision and you're terrified of going for it because it's new, it's novel, it requires innovation, it requires thinking outside of the box, it requires really freeing yourself from the chains of your conditioning, all the reasons you shouldn't or can't, right? And really taking inspired action. But I feel that what is needed of each of us right now is to tune in to God's vision for us. You know, some people are in this world to be activists. Some people are in this world to be the whistleblowers. Not everyone is here to do one role. If everyone was just fulfilling one role, we wouldn't be able to maintain this very multifaceted network of life on the planet. We all have unique roles to play in this global evolutionary shift and process of awakening. And so I invite you to lean in and ask, what is your divine role? What does God have in mind, heart, vision for you? What is the vision that is alive in you? Whether it's an actual vision or a sensation or a feeling or a knowing. I need to write that book that I've been sitting on for 5 years. I want to start that YouTube channel. Finally. Even though I don't have all the right tech and blah, 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 but it's calling loudly to me. I want to start a podcast. I want to create a community circle. I want to start a meditation group. I want to start sharing the knowledge and gifts I have as a service. I want to quit my job. I want to start that job. I want to move, blah, 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 whatever it is. Sometimes we don't always know the big picture, but we're being asked to lean in right now, I feel. Lean into our hearts and ask what is really true for me. Sometimes that requires really, disentangling from the noise of the outside world and ask, lean in, what is true for me right now? What is alive for me right now? Someone's saying I should do this, someone else is saying I should do that. What's your truth in all of this? How does your heart want to serve this world? Can you trust that the medicine you're being called to bring through right now is exactly what the world needs? You know, there are people out there that I've seen, especially on Instagram, saying we should be crumbling right now. We should be, you know, those of us that have really deeply empathic hearts and fields that feel the weight of the world right now, we should be collapsing, and we should be, you know, just allow the grief to kind of to take us over. And I've been doing that on and off, and there's something about that. Spirit keeps picking me back up and saying, Natasha, you can cry and you can crumble, but you need to keep going. I keep hearing the words, keep going, keep building. Cry, let yourself feel, let this energy move, and then keep going. So some people are calling for collapse. Some people are calling for like radical activism and action, you know. Those of us that can see a bigger picture of what's happening on earth right now, we know that the events in the Middle East and things that are happening all over the world, atrocities all over the world, they're not happening in isolation. This war on consciousness, and I'm really hesitant to say that because I know what, you know, the connotations of war hold, but that's what this is. Let's call a spade a spade. This war on consciousness started long before the conflict that the media, the Mockingbird media, is shining a light on right now, and it will continue long after if we don't start to unravel the energetics of what's causing it in the first place. And that is severing from the source within ourselves and in this world. So how are you being asked to repair that bridge back to source? What is the thing that the medicine you're here to bring through, that when you bring it through, it bridges your experience back to source? It's the embodied bridge back to source. It lights you up. It fills your heart. It makes you want to sing, want to dance, want to cry with joy, want to cry with gratitude. What is that thing? What's the thing that gets your fire burning, that soul fire burning? You know, in a time when so many people have so many different points of contention about how to move forwards in this enslavement matrix, and what's needed and what's not needed, it's time to remember that the only authority we answer to is that of source. No other person on this planet knows the way for us, truly. They know the way for them and the way that feels true for them. God, Goddess, Source, Creator, the universe, only the source of creation itself, Great Spirit, knows what is true and alive for us on our pioneering soul path. So it's time to remember what your truth feels like. Return to your center. Shut out the noise for a moment. Lean in and listen to the whispers of your soul, what you're being guided to do, create, move into the world, breathe life into, animate, activate, birth, dissolve, transmute. I keep finding, even during the times when my ego is really firm and stubborn and wants to like really fuck off this soul journey sometimes, really wants to waver on this whole faith thing, I keep being sent people and opportunities that keep reflecting back to me to keep fucking going. Keep fucking going. Your light is needed here. There are some that are here to be the activists, as I've said. There are some that are here to be the whistleblowers. And there are some that are here during times of immense turmoil and turbulence and disillusion and division. That there are those of us that are here to hold the higher vision, not to bypass how utterly bewildering this human experience can be. In its complexity, in its totality. Not to bypass this heart that feels and is connected to the web, but to also hold the higher vision, knowing that there is a higher timeline potential and expression for this human consciousness, this global network of life. We know we've come in for that. It's time to hold that vision, and we serve that vision by serving the vision that God gave for us. We cannot do the work of the world by ourselves, but we can serve our unique part, the part that only we can serve because of our unique medicine, because of our unique alchemy, because of the unique experiences and vantage points and conditions that we've been, we've come from and that we've inherited and that we've been through. And I truly believe that at a time when there is a tremendous amount of fear and a kind of globalized awareness of just how fucked the energetics of the planet are, the visionaries, the way showers, the artists, the creators, the creatrixes are needed now more than ever. So if you are someone whose medicine means, painting, singing, dancing, movement, artistry in some way, in this empirical world, people will say, oh, that's useless. What good is it serving? When we create, we are portals. We are conduits for spirit. We are weaving the sacred back into the mundane. I would argue that the artists and the creators are the most important forces on the planet right now. They are the people that are vibrating remembrance through the web. It's not helpful for the collective process if we all only focus on the fear. We acknowledge the fear, we acknowledge the turmoil, we acknowledge that there has been polarization and duality on this planet for as long as we can remember, and even longer than. That it's happening right now, that in this moment as I breathe, another life is being taken, another life is being robbed, another life is being stamped out, and that it is a privilege to be living and breathing right now. And so how are you going to use that privilege to serve something bigger than yourself? We acknowledge our privilege, those of us that have been born into privilege, and we can use that privilege to serve the web, to give back to this web of life that needs spirit breathed back into it. Do not give up on God's vision for you. It's there for a reason. It's alive in you for a reason. And you are the only person on this planet that can actualize it. We don't know how long we've got on this earth plane. Each moment is precious. So lean in and trust that that vision is alive there for you to actualize, to you to be of service, for you to be of service, for you to leave a legacy in this world that is going to help the betterment of the world. I'm sending you all so much love from the bottom of my heart. I'm very grateful for this community. I'm very grateful to be able to show up here, for the tremendous amount of support that I get, for the beautiful people that I meet through this network, my Soul Tribe members. I can't wait to continue to show up and serve for you in amongst my pockets of messy humanness. I'm sending so much love, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.